Hey guys, what's up? Megan here and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a new type of video for you guys in which I go over some background and some ritual ideas for the upcoming eclipse/full moon in Taurus. I want to preface this video by saying I am by no means an expert astrologer, but I have done some research for this video and these are just things I like to do pretty much every month. I hope you enjoy this video, I hope you find it helpful, and let's get started. The full and new moon are great times to check in and see if you're on track with any goals, or maybe if there's something that's not serving you that you want to release. So the upcoming full moon, which is also a partial lunar eclipse, is going to be on November 19th and is going to be in Taurus. So every sun season, the full moon is going to be in opposition with the sun season, which is the new moon. So we're in Scorpio this month, and then the full moon's in Taurus, right? So like in Aries season, the full moon's in Libra, Gemini, Sagittarius, etc., etc. So this full moon is especially exciting because it's going to be a partial lunar eclipse. And a partial lunar eclipse is a great time because it really magnifies the energy of that full moon. Basically, the sun is going to block blue light, so you'll probably see a reddish hue around the moon. Taurus is an earth sign who's ruled by Venus, and Scorpio is a water sign ruled by Mars. I know Scorpio can be a very intense season for many people, so this full moon is really going to ground us and give us that second from the intensity of the season. I know for me this season has been very intense, very emotional. Tauruses normally love material comforts, love a bougie home life, to just be in abundance. They're very grounded and very stubborn, you know, the bull. But on the low side, Tauruses can maybe covet that wealth too much, or maybe not feel like they're worthy of abundance. Taurus rules the second house, so it's a good idea to take a look and review your finances or your money mindset during this full moon. Some colors that are aligned with Taurus are blue and green, very earthy tones. So for me, on the day of the full moon, I like to maybe do a green or blue eye look, or maybe wear a color that makes you really reminded and makes you feel really grounded. Sometimes the energy of the full moon can be very intense, so it's really important, especially with this earth sign, to ground yourself. Taurus invites us to take a breath, get down to earth, and just think about what you want to do. Don't overcomplicate things on the day of the new moon. Just do what you feel like doing. Be very intuitive. If you feel like texting your old roommate from college, you should definitely text them. I want you to think about what you were doing when you were 5 years old. Did you like to paint? Did you like to draw? Did you like to sing? The full moon is a great time to bring that kind of joyous energy back into your life. So Taurus rules the throat, kind of neck and sinus area. So some good yoga poses that you can do on the new moon are camel. Also lion's breath is great to do for this new moon. So lion's breath is when you inhale through your nose and do a sharp exhale from the back of your throat and stick your tongue out. So I'm gonna do it now. That's really great to just totally empty your lungs and release any stagnant energy that you don't want to bring in. Another few poses to do are cat-cow, shoulder stand, and just kind of a neck roll. Anything that'll really loosen up and remove any blockages from this area. And since this eclipse is falling in Scorpio, and Scorpio rules the sacral chakra, so like your reproductive organs kind of below your belly, so some yoga poses that you can do for that are pigeon, goddess pose, thread the needle, anything that opens your hips. So the Taurus full moon / partial lunar eclipse is going to happen on November 19th. I recommend you do your full moon rituals within 72 hours of the full moon, on whichever side you want, but you really want to get as close to it as possible to harness the energy. So the full moon is a great time to release anything, because the moon is starting full, and then over the next 2 weeks it's going to fade to the new moon, which is darkness. Whereas the new moon is a great time to think about what you want to bring into the next month. So for the full moon, some ritual ideas are clearing old growth from your plants. Since it's November, it's especially a great time to maybe minimize things that you don't need, throw anything out, repot anything. Just make sure those plants are spick and span and you remove any dead growth that you don't want to bring in. Another full moon ritual I like to do is to physically clear my space. So to get rid of any trash that has accumulated, any boxes that are sitting out, any clothes that you want to donate. It's a really good time to physically release things that are no longer serving you to make space. Another full moon ritual idea is to do a smoke cleanse. I know sage is a little controversial, so feel free to use whatever dried herb bundle suits you, but I would recommend starting in the westerly point of the room and going clockwise, because west is most associated with water, which is most associated with change. So the sun sets in the west. The sunset is the change between night and day. So this full moon, I recommend you starting in the westerly corner of your space. This full moon is also a great time to think of what you want to banish from your life. So any habits or people or even physical possessions that you don't need anymore, that are no longer serving you, now is a great time to cut them off. If you have a safe space to do it, you can even do a little banishing ritual where you write whatever you want to get rid of on a sheet of paper and just burn it. I like to do that in a glass bowl with a bottle of water nearby, just in case anything goes awry. Also, I like to actually read out what I want to get rid of. Actually saying what you want to release really makes it real. Another great ritual to do under the full moon is to charge your crystals. I like to charge my crystals in a bowl of salt and leave them in an area that's under the full moon. At least 2 hours. Sometimes I don't leave them all night just in case it rains or anything. Another ritual I like to do is I like to actually take the salt that I let my crystals charge in and I use that for a bath. It's also a great time to do a tarot reading. So I'm going to go over a few questions you can ask your cards this month. The first question is, what energy will help me release my attachments? The second question is, what energy will help me find stillness, calm, and peace? And the third is, what energy will help me build a foundation for my creativity and abundance? I really like doing these 3 card readings because normally they're pretty simple, right? Tend to tell a story if you put all the cards next to each other. So some Taurus crystals for your full moon ritual are jade, pink opal, and green onyx. And you can also incorporate Scorpio crystals because that is the sun sign. So some Scorpio crystals are onyx, hematite, and tourmalated quartz. Now I'm going to go over some journaling questions that will help you harness the power of this Taurus eclipse. I recommend you do some sort of breath work, yoga, meditation, or any combination of those before you start journaling on the full moon. You really want to ground yourself and bring yourself into your body. So my recommended breathwork exercise for this full moon is box breathing. So what you do for box breathing is you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and then hold out for 4. And do that as many times as you want to do. I recommend doing it at least 10 times. So the first questions are, and you can pause the video or you can just write them down for later. What brings you into the present moment? What work have you done on yourself, and how can you show gratitude to yourself for doing it? What are your common comfort zones? How do they protect you? What does abundance mean to you? How can you appreciate what you already have? What brings you childlike joy? How can you make time for joy? So eclipses tend to bring about sudden realizations, endings, changes, maybe somewhat shocking new revelations. So be prepared this full moon. Really think about how you can use this energy to release things that are no longer serving you, and how you can use that Taurus energy to redefine your relationship with home, abundance, and finding that childlike joy. I really hope this video helped you out. I hope you got some new ideas for your full moon ritual. Let me know in the comments below if you do any of these, and I will see you next time.